Hi there, I'm Mike, and this is Ewoks, because why not? So far in the Black Series, if you're new or old, but you're just curious, there have been 3 Ewoks released in the Black Series line. First, we got Teebo here. He was released back in 2020. He was the first one. Then, technically, we got Paploo here. Paploo, he came out in 2020 as well as part of the Heroes of Endor pack. I bought that then, which means I've owned Paploo for 3 years now? Oh God. But I've never opened him because I've just been too lazy to open up that big package. He does come with a speeder bike in that though. And then recently, we just got Wicket. And then Paploo again, because they re-released him by himself, finally in the line outside of that pack. It's been a while. Anyways, let's talk about Teebo here. Teebo was the first. Why? I don't know. He's not the first I would have chosen, but he is for some reason the first that Hasbro chose. He's an interesting figure. All new parts, obviously, because they've never done an Ewok in the line. He's got some fantastic sculpting. Fur sculpt all the way down, and it does not hinder any of the articulation. Starting with the head, we have this really cool cap that's glued on. It would have been cool had it been removable, but it is not. I mean, I'm sure you can take it off if you want. Like, there's sculpted ears and everything here, but I'm not taking mine off. I'm not doing that. The teeth are painted, the tusks are painted. There's a lot of detail in here, even the little leather on the back, all detailed. We have some paint on the little feathers right here. Everything looks fantastic. Even the face, love this face. Teebo does have a very I think he's got a weird face, weirder than most other Ewoks. He's also got this little necklace down here. It's painted okay. It's not bad. Moving on to the rest of the body, he does have these stripes. He's striped all the way down with this nice kind of almost airbrushed color, where it definitely has like a fade, but it's done from head to toe and it looks really nice. He also has this like cross bandage over him. It's definitely not for covering up any unmentionables the Ewoks may or may not have that you can't see, because it doesn't cover much, but it is there, and it holds his knife, which is neat. The knife is an accessory. It does come out. I don't know why I said it like that. It's a weird way to say anything. He also has this horn. It would have been cool if this horn had been a removable accessory, because he is the person that blows the horn in the movie. Like, he uses this in the movie, and it's nice that he has it sculpted here, but it would have been even nicer had he actually come with it. Another great accessory, he does come obviously with this spear. I like this spear. It's got a couple different points of detail on there. We have the fur. I don't know if this is Ewok fur or just other species fur, or like, do they shave themselves and put fur? I don't want to know, honestly. There's a lot about Ewoks I don't want to know. It's just got a plain kind of sculpted wooden handle, and then of course we do have this nice little spearhead right here. And then Teebo here does come with one extra accessory. I don't really use this. In fact, I had to go dig out his box to pull it out there, because I forgot I even owned it. I forgot he had it, but this little stone hatchet. It's not my favorite accessory, but it's nice he comes with it, because the biggest complaint I have with any of these Ewoks is that they are small, and you know, Hasbro's charging the same amount of money for them. Now granted, I mean, he came with a decent amount of accessories. I wish that, you know, he came with more accessories. For instance, if this had come off, that would have been an accessory. If this could come off, that would be an accessory, and those would all kind of go towards adding value to little Teebo here. He didn't, he doesn't, but it did suck paying 25 bucks for him. Let's talk about his articulation real quick. He doesn't have a ton, but he has more than you'd think. So he's got, you know, the standard head movement here. There's no butterfly joint, but on this, I don't really know if he needs it or if they could have even done it. He does have rotation at the shoulder as well as a hinge. He has a hinge and a swivel at the elbow. He has a swivel at the wrist, and there is a little bit of a hinge there, but it's so small and tucked in there, it's practically useless. He has a nice torso joint that's actually pretty flexible. He has a decent amount of range on his leg, and then he does have the hinge and swivel at the knee, and then he does have the hinge and rocker at his feet. And you know how I do. So that's Teebo here. He's good. He's not great. He's slightly overpriced, but you know, if you want some Ewoks, you gotta get it. Moving on to the second release, that's right, we're talking Paploo here, because technically he was the second Ewok, even though He's also the most recently released Ewok. He is for the most part just a straight repaint of Teebo here, but you know what? That's okay. There's no need to reinvent the wheel with Ewok bodies. They are pretty much the same. Obviously, he has a completely different paint scheme, but the exact same sculpting, and he does have a completely different head. Editing Mike here, I was wrong. He has a new torso, so it's not just a straight repaint. The face is nice. Lots of great details here. Those dead black shark eyes that just, disappear into the void. Seem to pierce your soul. They're there. They've got that. He's even got his weird little Ewok teeth because, why not? And then his cute little teddy bear ears that all Ewoks seem to have. Face is covered by his little shawl here, which is nice, but it is just like Teebo's hat, non-removable, which sucks. It would have been nice had his shawl been removable because there is articulation at the head here, but the rubber material just hinders most of it, making it effectively useless. He does have a lot of decent paint apps on the shawl kind of covering. He's got this nice little feather that comes out, some white, a lot of little feathers and things like that, and fauna that he's just got decorating it all over there. On the back, we have some detail, but there's a little paint thing missing right here. Would have been nice had that been painted, but it might be a material that's the same color as that naturally. I haven't looked, honestly, and I'm not going to. I don't really care that much because it's on the back of him, and I'll never really ever see it. His other kind of feature of note is his belt here. The belt is maybe removable if you take the whole thing off, but I'm not going to. The only point of contention I really have with the belt is he has a sculpted knife here, and it would have been really nice had the knife been removable, kind of like Teebo's. Like, it's weird that Teebo has a removable knife and not little Paploo here. Now, if you want to know who Paploo is the Ewok that actually gets onto the speeder bike and speeds off. That's why the Heroes of Endor version came with a speeder bike. It would have been cool had they just sold that whole thing separately instead of just the Ewok, because again, he's the same price as Teebo and any other regular priced, Black Series figure. So that kind of sucks because his only real accessory is this really dumb stick. Now, this might be the right stick that it came with that he was holding in the movie. I don't doubt that it is, but look at it's got a fur patch here, and it's just got two pointy ends. That's it. Not even an arrowhead. It's just two pointy prong ends. It's like a really long fork. I guess that's fine, but it's not my favorite accessory. And again, it would have been really cool had they just included a speeder bike. I would have paid, $50 for this and a speeder bike. No questions asked. I would have just done it. That would have seemed fair to me because otherwise it's just Paploo with this stick and that's it. That's all he comes with. Teebo came with a hatchet, a spear, a knife, and while it's not a lot, it's more than just a stick, especially for being a repaint. He's got that Ewok butt right there. But let's move on to the newest, technically second newest, the first new Ewok sculpt we've had since 2020, and that is Wicket here. Wicket W. Warwick, played by Warwick Davis when he was like 11 years old. I've seen people have a little complaint that he might be too small. I don't think so. I think that this is spot on, despite the fact that he is, again, the exact same price as all the other figures. He is my favorite. I've seen people complain about maybe not enough paint on the face, but I think there's enough on there. My only real complaint is there's no articulation at the knees because, they are small, and I get maybe it was too tough to sculpt a joint in here. Like, I would understand that really if that's the case. Looking at this, I guess his whole leg is about the same size as just his shin, so that kind of makes sense. I wish that there was a little bit more articulation here. Other than that, he's got pretty much the same articulation. He's got the head articulation underneath here, but because he does have this nice little, again, kind of hood shawl thing, his head doesn't move at all. He does have cute little bear ears. He's got like some stitching painted on the sides, but otherwise there's not a lot of paint, but there's enough for what he has here. He does have some nice dry brushing on the fur, on his tummy, on his face, on his ears. So everything looks great there. And of course his little toes are painted. So he's got some paint there. He has the same articulation as the other ones, but because it's smaller, it's just smaller. So no butterfly joint, but he does have the shoulder, he's got the elbow, he's got the wrist, he's got a waist, and then his leg just kind of goes forward and back, and then he's got little toes that wiggle around. But he's just friggin' adorable. I love this. And yes, it does suck that you have to pay so much for this, but he comes with more accessories. Does he come with enough accessories? I don't know. I get it. I get why they did it, because he's the smallest by far. But of course he comes with a staff, and that's how I just have mine. But if you want, he does come with this nice little bow and arrow. The bow is sculpted with, minimal sculpting, but it gets the point across. It's got a little paint where, the little handle is. It's got a little spot for the arrow, so you can rest the arrow in there. The arrow is really small. In fact, I've lost it once already. Found it on the ground. Glad my didn't vacuum it up. It does have a little paint on the arrowhead. He also comes with this wooden club. Now there's no paint whatsoever on this club. And it's molded in a weird color. Like, this doesn't look like a natural wood color. I would have liked it had it been closer to this. And maybe it is. Maybe it's just my eyes that are wrong, but I don't think this is right. And then lastly, we also have this club, which has like a rock kind of molded onto the end. Otherwise, it's very similar. So he has two clubs, which I guess, no, those are too big to be arrows. They don't fit in there. So he just comes with two clubs. If you want him to dual wield, he can, or you can give him the bow and arrow, or you can just have him, have the spear like he did when he first met Princess Leia, because that's what 90% of people are going to do. I really, really, really wish that they had given us these figures in a different way. I'm not mad about it. I'm just disappointed, I guess. Like, they could have just put all of these in a 3-pack and I would have happily bought it for like 50 or 60 bucks. Like, not a problem. Wouldn't have even thought about it if it came exactly like this. Not even a speeder bike. If it came with a speeder bike, I'd be okay with like 100 bucks. The original Power of the Force 2 Ewoks, it was like Low Gray and Wicket at the same time in the same package. And that would have been okay for like a normal figure price. You wouldn't even have to come with this stuff. Like, I do not care about these things. If he didn't come with any of these, but he came with a 2-pack, I would have been absolutely fine with that. Or it would have been cool had we had like a 2-pack with Wicket and like Endor Leia. This would have been a cool pack to open if they had just done something like this, for maybe deluxe price, maybe 50 bucks, kind of like a 55, like they're doing with like the Yoda and Luke. Like, this would have been a fun pack to get. They could have been 2-packed together, and I think that would have been great. But instead, this came separate, and I paid 50 bucks for them anyway. So I guess it's the same price. I don't know why I'm complaining. I just priced myself the exact same way. I feel like I'm getting more when you put small things together like this, and I guess that's how I'm doing it. Now that we're getting kind of more Return of the Jedi stuff, because it is the 40th anniversary, there's a lot of different fun ways that you can kind of build out your shelf. So you've got Endor Leia, and she's back on the shelves right now, because of the Return of the Jedi anniversary set that they just did. She is still hanging out if you want to get an Endor Ewok Village Leia. And then, of course, if you want to, you can also get Han Solo. And, these all look fantastic together. So very, very excited. In fact, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take Ewok Village Leia out of here. And we're just going to make a little fun diorama here. And why not? Let's get Luke into here. Put him back here next to Han. I like that. And this looks fun on the shelf. It's I was the right age when I was a kid to appreciate Ewoks. I know not everyone was. There's a lot of contention over older fans who are in their 50s and 60s now saying that Ewoks kind of ruined the movies. Very similar to how people are saying, newer stuff is ruining the movies. It's just a cycle. And younger people are like, no one said that, because you're not old enough to know the discourse around the time. You weren't there in those conversations at the time where people complained about Ewoks. But I see Ewoks fondly because I was the right age to appreciate Ewoks. I don't know what else they could do. Obviously, we need more Ewoks. We need a Chief Chirpa and a Low Gray at the very least. If they did Chief Chirpa and Low Gray and we didn't get any more Ewoks, I'd be okay with that. I would like it if they did a 2-pack or something. I would like it if they did a glider. That would be really cool. But if we never get that stuff, this is fine. This is what my shelf needs. I've got some Ewok representation. What else could you really ask for? Besides paying less? That would be nice. Again, I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying it would be nice. But the world is what it is right now, and if you want to partake in the hobby, you pay it or you don't. That's just how it works out. Let me know what you thought downstairs area. Did you get any of these? Which one is your favorite? Let me know. I love to read and respond to comments when I can. I'd like to take a moment and thank these people here for supporting me on Patreon at a Black Series level or higher. It means a lot to me that people still do that despite my lack of content, and I really am sorry that I haven't made anything in over a month. It's just been a really weird month, and you know what? Mental health, it's important. So, you know, if you're struggling, you can always reach out to me, because we all struggle with different things, and it's important to talk to people. I'm finding that out. So let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe. All that stuff is still good. And I'll see you later. Bye.